What's up, Cowboys Nation? We've got a wild one for you today, and you better buckle up because this is the kind of news that could shake up the entire franchise. Reports are flying in, and sources close to the team are hinting at some shocking developments regarding two of Dallas's biggest superstars, CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons. Are the Cowboys really at risk of losing both of them? Is this the beginning of the end for Dallas's young core? Stick around, because we're breaking it all down in detail, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now, if you've been following the Cowboys' off-season drama, you already know that contract negotiations have been a massive storyline. Both CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons are up for big paydays, and Jerry Jones is facing the tough reality of the modern NFL salary cap that forces teams to make brutal decisions. So here's where things get interesting. Sources inside the organization are revealing that talks with CeeDee Lamb have hit a major roadblock. The Cowboys are reportedly hesitant to give him a deal that matches or exceeds what Justin Jefferson got with the Vikings. Lamb is said to be asking for a contract in the range of $30 to $32 million per year, and while the Cowboys recognize his talent, they're playing hardball. Now let's put this into perspective. CeeDee Lamb is coming off his best season as a pro. He dominated in 2023, putting up insane numbers, showing he's not just a top-tier receiver, he's a legitimate superstar. The chemistry between him and Dak Prescott was electric, and it's safe to say that without Lamb, the Cowboys' offense wouldn't have looked the same. But in the NFL, production alone doesn't guarantee a max contract, and this is where things get complicated. Word around the league is that multiple teams are monitoring the situation closely. If the Cowboys don't lock Lamb up soon, other teams with cap space and a need for an elite wide receiver could swoop in with an offer that Dallas can't or won't match. Imagine a scenario where a team like the Patriots or the Bears, both looking to add playmakers, throws an offer at Lamb that blows Dallas out of the water. Would the Cowboys let him walk? Could they trade him instead of paying him? These are the questions swirling around the star wideout right now. But wait, it gets crazier. Micah Parsons is another huge piece of this puzzle. He's not eligible for a new deal just yet, but make no mistake, he's watching how Dallas handles Lamb very closely. Parsons is the heartbeat of this defense, a generational talent who single-handedly changes games. He's already on track to be one of the highest-paid defensive players in NFL history when his time comes, and sources say he won't be willing to take a discount just to stay in Dallas. If the front office fumbles Lamb's situation, could it send the wrong message to Parsons? Could we actually be looking at a future where both of these stars aren't wearing the star? The bigger issue here is Dallas's cap space and their overall roster-building philosophy. The Cowboys are trying to balance keeping their stars while maintaining depth across the roster, but they're running into the same issue that has plagued them for years: big contracts tied up in players like Dak Prescott, and, to some extent, the aging veterans who aren't necessarily producing at an elite level anymore. So the real question becomes, do the Cowboys prioritize paying CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons, or do they look at this as an opportunity to reshape the roster for the future? One scenario that's being floated around is the possibility of trading Lamb if contract negotiations completely break down. Imagine the kind of haul Dallas could get for a 25-year-old superstar wide receiver in his prime. First-round picks, elite young talent teams would be lining up for a chance to add a game-changer like him. But at the same time, losing Lamb would mean taking a massive step back offensively. Could the Cowboys afford to do that? And more importantly, would Dak Prescott be okay with that? Because let's be real, Dak's future in Dallas is also in question. If the team doesn't show commitment to surrounding him with elite weapons, would he start looking elsewhere when his contract situation comes up again? Parsons' situation is slightly different, but the concerns are just as real. Pass rushers of his caliber, don't hit the open market very often, and when they do, they command insane contracts. We're talking upwards of $30 million per year, if not more. And here's the kicker: Parsons has made it clear that he wants to win. If Dallas doesn't handle their roster correctly and continues falling short in the playoffs, does he start considering greener pastures? Does he look at what's happening with CeeDee Lamb and start thinking that Dallas might not be the best place for him long-term? There's also the issue of how Dallas has historically handled their star players. Remember what happened with Amari Cooper? The Cowboys let him go, thinking they could replace him, and that decision ended up haunting them. Could history be repeating itself? Are we watching the Cowboys set themselves up for another major mistake by playing hardball with Lamb and potentially upsetting Parsons in the process? The Cowboys fan base is divided on this. Some believe Jerry Jones and the front office will figure it out and keep both players. Others are more skeptical, pointing to years of mismanagement and questionable contract decisions. One thing's for sure, this offseason is going to be one of the most critical in recent memory, and how Dallas handles this will shape the future of the franchise for years to come. First off, let's talk about what he brings to the table. Williams is an elite shot blocker. Last season, he averaged nearly 2 blocks per game in limited minutes, and his presence in the paint completely changes how teams attack the rim. Just imagine him coming off the bench to relieve Anthony Davis, or even playing alongside him in certain lineups. Suddenly, the Lakers' interior defense goes from a weakness to a major strength. But it's not just his shot blocking. Williams is an excellent rebounder. One of the biggest issues the Lakers have faced this year is giving up second-chance points. Too many times, they play solid defense for 20 seconds, force a miss, and then give up an offensive rebound that leads to an easy bucket. Williams would help eliminate that problem. He has a great nose for the ball, and his size and athleticism allow him to snatch rebounds over multiple defenders. On offense, he's not a guy who's going to demand the ball, and that's exactly what the Lakers need. They already have scorers in LeBron, Anthony Davis, and D'Angelo Russell. Williams would thrive in his role as a rim runner, finishing lobs, setting hard screens, and getting easy putbacks. It's a simple but effective game, and it's exactly the kind of role playing big the Lakers need right now. But here's the key question: can the Lakers actually land him if he's bought out? The competition is going to be fierce. Whenever a young, talented big man hits the buyout market, teams jump at the chance to add size and defense. There will be multiple contenders looking at Williams, but the Lakers do have a few advantages. First, they can offer him a legitimate role. Unlike some other teams that might just want him as insurance, the Lakers have a real need at center. He would get meaningful minutes on a team with championship aspirations, and that's a big selling point. So Cowboys Nation, what do you think? Should the team give CeeDee Lamb the massive contract he's asking for? Should they do whatever it takes to keep Michael